Hello there, lovely learners. Let me ask you something. What do you think of when you hear the word blue? Do you think of the color blue? The sky? Maybe the ocean? Well, English takes it much further. Today, we are going to look at fun and interesting expressions that use the word blue in a totally different way. Just letting you know that it has nothing to do with the color blue itself. And you will be surprised to learn how often blue appears in different expressions with entirely new meanings. I'm Sia, your English teacher, and if you are new here, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon so you never miss a lesson. So, are you excited to learn some cool ways to use the word blue without thinking about the color? Great. Let's go. The first one is feeling blue. Now, we use this phrase to describe someone feeling sad or down. You know, when nothing seems to go right and you're just not in the best mood? That's when you say you're feeling blue. It's a more expressive and interesting way to say I'm sad. For example, I've been feeling blue ever since my sister moved to another city. This shows how someone might feel sad when they miss someone special. Another example is, after receiving bad news, Ria spent the whole day feeling blue. So when you're feeling a little low, you can say you're feeling blue. It sounds much better than I'm sad. Next up, we have Monday blues. I'm sure many of you can relate to this one. It's that tired, unmotivated feeling we get when the weekend ends and on Mondays we have to jump back into work. It's like you're not ready to start the week and wish you could just have one more day to relax. Believe me, even I get the Monday blues sometimes and all I want to do is stay at home. Come on, let's check out some example sentences. I can already feel the Monday blues creeping in as soon as I stepped into the office. Don't we all get it? The wave of tiredness and unmotivation when we enter the office? Another example is the Monday blues hit hard after such a fun weekend. I'm definitely not in the mood for work. This phrase is the perfect way to describe the feeling we get when Monday rolls around. The next expression will totally surprise you. Out of the blue. You know, when you're going about your day, scrolling through your phone, doing some work, or just relaxing, and then all of a sudden you get a phone call with a job offer when you are not even looking for it. That's exactly what out of the blue means. It's when something happens unexpectedly that catches you off guard. For example, we hadn't heard from James in months and then out of the blue, he showed up at the party. Or, the promotion came out of the blue. I didn't even know I was being considered for it. So, when something happens unexpectedly or catches you by surprise, you can say it came out of the blue. Do you have moments where something happened unexpectedly? Do let me know in the comments. Now, let's take a look at the next phrase, once in a blue moon. Now, have you ever seen a blue moon? It's pretty rare, right? So, when we say something happens once in a blue moon, we're talking about something that happens very rarely. Let's look at some examples. 1. I go to the movies once in a blue moon, maybe once every few months. I love having desserts, but I only have cake once in a blue moon because I'm trying to stay healthy. So when you want to talk about something that doesn't happen often, just say it happens once in a blue moon. With that being said, let's move on to the next phrase, which is do something until you are blue in the face. It's a big phrase, but quite interesting. Have you ever tried to explain something so many times that you feel like you're out of breath? That's what. Do something until you're blue in the face it means to try really hard to do something, but there are no results. For example, I've tried to explain the directions to him until I'm blue in the face, but he still keeps getting lost. This happens quite often, right? Like, you have tried really hard, but there is no positive outcome of that. Another example is you can tell them that exercise is good until you're blue in the face, but they still don't work out. It's a perfect phrase for those frustrating times when you put in a lot of effort, but don't really see any progress. Now, let's move on to our next phrase, blue collar. Wait a second. When you hear blue collar, you might think of someone actually wearing a blue shirt, right? But this phrase has nothing to do with the color of clothing. It is actually referring to jobs, mainly the type of job that requires manual labor. You know, like construction workers, factory workers, electricians, mechanics, plumbers, etc. Basically, any work that involves physical work will be considered a blue-collar job. For example, my uncle has been working a blue-collar job as a mechanic for over 20 years. Or, many people in the city have blue-collar jobs working in factories and construction. In short, a blue collar doesn't refer to the color of your shirt, but the type of work that you do. Now, let's check out the next phrase, which is all about injuries. Black and blue. You know that dark bruise that appears on your skin after an injury? Like when you trip over something and fall hard? At first, there might not be much to see, but by the next day, you might notice bruises on your arms or legs. That's when you'd say you're black and blue. But let me tell you that this expression is not only limited to physical injuries, but can also be used for emotional injuries too. For example, after the heated argument with her best friend, she felt black and blue emotionally. Another example could be, he came back from the football game all black and blue after all those rough tackles. So, whether it's a literal bruise from a fall or a figurative one from a tough experience, this phrase works for both situations. That brings me to the next phrase, blue blood. Now, I know you might be thinking, don't we all have red blood? Why are we talking about blue blood? Well, this phrase has nothing to do with the color of your actual blood. Instead, it's used to describe someone who comes from a royal or noble family. In other words, it refers to someone of privileged heritage or high social status. For instance, she's always lived in luxury. After all, she comes from blue blood. Or, even though he has blue blood, he prefers a simple and modest lifestyle. Moving on, we have the phrase, into the blue. This phrase is all about stepping into the unknown or trying something new without fully knowing what to expect. You know, when someone just decides to start an adventure, they pack up their bags and head out without any clear direction and not knowing how things will turn out. That's what into the blue is all about. For example, they packed their bags and drove into the blue with no idea where they were going. Or, the explorers ventured into the blue, searching for undiscovered lands. It's a great way to describe doing something without knowing exactly what will happen. And now, we've reached the final phrase of today's lesson, blue chip. This one is often used in business and finance. So, a blue chip actually refers to a company, stock, or investment that is considered very stable and reliable. Companies that are well established and have a strong history of steady profits, they are called blue chip companies. For instance, you can say investing in blue chip companies like Apple and Microsoft is a smart choice. Or she decided to buy shares in some blue chip stocks because they are known for being low risk. So when you hear someone talk about a blue chip company or investment, they are referring to the best of the best, the ones you can trust to perform well over time. And there you have it. 10 different ways to use the word blue in English without actually talking about the color itself. From feeling blue to out of the blue surprises, these phrases and expressions can make your conversations more fun and engaging. So, why don't you try using them? Start by making your own sentences and make sure you post them in the comments below. I'd love to see how you're using them. And slowly and gradually try using them in your daily conversations. That's the best way to use them confidently. Think of this lesson as a blue chip investment in your English skills. You'll see the great results in no time. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more fun lessons. I'll see you in the next lesson. Happy learning!